I'd like to thank all those staff that participated in our 2021 survey. We've received some really positive comments, and we've also received a lot of learning opportunities that you have provided us, which gives us great insight into how we are to take things forwards. The fact that we've now been able to hear your voice, we got to listen to what you have to say.
The survey was hosted in November of 2021 and gave us great insight into employees' views on both working and being part of the team at New Victoria Hospital. Overall, the survey was very positive, with a diverse range of representatives from across the hospital. There was an equal mix of clinical and non-clinical employees, a good split between management and non-management, and a strong representation of various lengths of service. The survey gave us good statistical and measurable data, with employees being open and honest in their written responses. This gave us a deeper insight into their mindset and will help us in developing further people strategies for the year ahead. The survey was broken into 6 key sections: personal engagement, training and development, management, team, internal communication, and the pandemic response. The first section on personal engagement had 7 questions. It was fantastic to see that over 90% of the population agreed and completely agreed that doing their job gives them a sense of personal satisfaction. Customer service was an important part of their role, and their job contributed to the overall success of the hospital.
Without doubt, the last few years have been really challenging, but I am so pleased with the way that staff have risen to those challenges, ensuring that patient care remains at the forefront of New Victoria Hospital. The excellent care that staff provide is consistently recognised by both consultants and patients. It was great to see such a high level of personal engagement from staff, demonstrating their resilience and how we all come together in difficult times.
There was a slight decrease in positive sentiment relating to receiving feedback and also having their opinions recognised. Feedback will be a strong focus on the way we build better communication going forward. There was a strong sense of advocacy towards the work environment and how it instills a sense of happiness and well-being amongst employees.
The staff survey has given us new insight as to what's important for employees, for their well-being and what they'd like more of or less of. In the past year we've had a few initiatives. We've got the thank you board, which allows staff to thank other staff. We've also had the summer party, which was attended by many of the staff, which was great fun. We've also got the car parking space, which, although seems a very small idea, has been really useful for some. That was an idea that's come about by a staff member, so we're always very thankful for ideas like that.
In the next section, training and development, there were 29 comments in the open dialogue box. This speaks to how passionate a topic it is for members of the team. Many of these comments gave good direction with respect to the current portfolio and the way in which it is delivered. Approximately 60% of the participants agreed and completely agreed that the training is good and helps them do their job and is delivered in a way that allows them to learn easily.
Training and development now forms part of the HR team. This move has allowed us to work more closely with like-minded colleagues, giving a new perspective and opportunity for staff training. Recently, we've introduced a new appraisal process which gives HR the opportunity to better identify the training needs of employees and enables the team to ensure staff training needs are met. Based on the survey results, it has been recognised that more focus on professional development and how training is delivered needs to be considered.
Question 12 and question 14 indicated that flexibility and scheduling of training could be improved. Also, a more diverse portfolio of learning opportunities and professional development was of great interest to many participants.
Moving forward in 2022, we are exploring new ways to make training more flexible and accessible to staff.
The use of Teams was highlighted as a good medium. However, more guidance on the use of the system is required to reach better efficiency. The largest section of the survey had 13 questions in total, relating to management and immediate supervisors. Overall, it was a positive result, with question 17 having approximately 80% of participants agree or completely agree that their manager treats them fairly and helps them when needed. This shows a great emotional connection between staff and their immediate managers. This was also reinforced by question 18, with 70% saying that management appreciates their contribution to the organization.
This section of the survey had the greatest differential in terms of employee responses, indicating that there's still work to be done in how employees are treated fairly and listened to. One of the main goals of the management team for 2022 is to ensure that we foster a great team environment and all individuals respect and appreciate each other. One area highlighting the greatest divide was with question 27, in how individuals believe that the executive management decisions are both well planned and carried out. As part of our communication strategy for 2022, I will ensure that better time and care is given to how we communicate these strategic decisions. Communication across all areas of the hospital is vital to ensure greater success in the future.
It has been recognized that time constraints on both managers and employees can be challenging. However, overlaying this data with other areas of the survey indicates a very strong resilience within the team and the way in which these time pressures are being managed.
Having reviewed the latest staff survey with particular reference to management, it's really spoken to me as a head of department and shown me a lot of ways which we can go forward. I have recently set up a HODS peer group where we have started to discuss a lot of the issues that have been raised with particular reference to staff shortage. We've also discussed training other members of staff, maybe work in other departments to help us out clinically, for instance, and this has been demonstrated from our temperature team that helped us over the COVID pandemic. Some members of that team are now working in finance, outpatients, imaging and medical records. So we know we can take this forward. One of the questions, which has been very positive, doing my job well gives me a sense of personal satisfaction. I think this is something we can pride ourselves on at the New Victoria. We know we've got good staff here. We want to support them, and I believe with the new HODS peer group we will be able to do that in the future.
The fourth section of the survey related to team, with question 31 and question 33 giving a very positive outcome. Both questions resulted in approximately 70% of participants rating agree and completely agree, with an additional 20% expressing somewhat agree. This shows a strong engagement score, revealing how individuals feel about their immediate team and the overall employee focus on the care of the hospital's patients.
It was encouraging to see the high focus on patient care from staff, which is fundamental to everything that New Victoria stands for. However, a focus for 2022 will be to ensure that departments work better together, that staff feel respected, and that employees are treated fairly.
Questions 32 and 34 indicates that more work needs to be done with regards to departments working well together and the way in which employees show respect to each other. The data also indicates that the issues around respect was less evident in the immediate team and more so in regards to how different departments communicate with each other. There were 6 questions relating to internal communication with a variety of opinions. Question 37 gave a very positive response to the frequency of communication, with approximately 75% agreeing and completely agreeing that they receive regular updates. This shows that the information flow within the hospital is in place and individuals are receiving intended communications.
The survey gave us some great insight in how we can bring the external and internal communication together in a more harmonious way.
In question 38, we saw a greater desire for improved communication between departments, and in question 40 and 41, to have more clarity from the EMT around the hospital's vision and strategy.
In 2022, we're excited that we're launching our brand new website. This will allow us to reach a broader consultant base, new patients and employees. We've seen some amazing changes to the aesthetics of the hospital over the past few years. This will also showcase all the great work that we do at NVH. With this new external brand, it's also very important how we communicate internally. As you'll see from our new website, it brings life to our vision and values.
The hospital is in an exciting phase of its recovery. The hard work that you as individuals have provided hasn't gone unnoticed by the management team. Communication amongst us is vital, and that's one area that we know we have to do with openness, transparency, and across departments, as every part of the organisation relies on each other. In terms of our forward-thinking strategy and to continue our recovery phase, it's vital that we get this right. So I have every faith in our ability, with your help, to achieve an ongoing recovery for the hospital.
The final section of the survey related to the hospital's initial and continued response to the COVID-19 pandemic. It was very encouraging to see that over 75% of participants agreed or completely agreed that the team did a great job in communicating with respect to COVID. There was also a high degree of satisfaction with the overall NVH response to the pandemic. This was an encouraging result, and coming directly from the team speaks to the resilience and the flexibility of the hospital's emergency response.
As Medical Director and as a surgeon who brings patients to New Victoria Hospital, I would personally like to thank every member of staff for their hard work in safeguarding patients during the pandemic. I am grateful and thankful for the exceptional work that you have done. I was pleased to read from the survey that you feel our COVID response was on the whole effective, both in communication of the numerous and ever-changing directives from government, and also that we created safe and effective means of listening and responding to concerns. However, I do recognise that there are a range of responses, especially regarding the impact of the pandemic on mental health. I am mindful that some have found this harder than others, but we are all in this together and must openly support each other with kindness and hope for the future.
It is important to recognize that over half of the participants indicated that the pandemic had impacted on their mental health, although 61% felt hopeful that the pandemic will soon be behind us.
The ENT are committed to supporting staff going forward in 2022 with their mental health and to ensure that they are supported in these continuing challenging times.
The survey was very informative and gave insights into areas that need greater consideration and opportunities for improvement in 2022. It also highlighted the great work that has been done and continues to be achieved by the team at New Victoria Hospital.
The staff engagement team appreciates your voice and encourages you to continue giving us your great ideas. It's with this we can build even greater success.
I'd once again like to thank all the staff who completed the 2021 survey. Through your voice, we've received such insightful data that has now allowed us as a management team to build better people-focused strategies that will allow us to work as one team for one purpose, to continue the success of this organisation into 2022 and beyond.